Kendrick
him promoting
Perkins.
body. Yeah, that's all cap.
That's all cap. That's a tough turn down, man. $50 million, highest single season contract. Oh, man. I don't know.
When you can walk away from $50 million, that means you have reached a point in your life that, frankly, gentlemen, I will never reach. So that's it. Somebody wants to pay me $105 million over 2 years. I'm there. I'm just pointing that out to the Houston Rockets. Welcome, guys, to The Jump. I am Rachel Nichols alongside Finals MVP Paul Pierce and NBA champ Kendrick Perkins, our Boston teammates here. We are just a day away, gentlemen, from the draft. We are going to be joined by Wolves president of basketball operations, Gerson Rosas, who's going to make the first overall selection, and the guy who could be his number one overall pick, LaMelo Ball, is going to join The Jump too, so stick with us for that. We're also going to talk more about Harden's future in Houston after he turned down that extension we were just talking about, because he is reportedly eyeing reuniting with KD in Brooklyn. So a lot to get into, but first, we're going to kick things off with the new look Milwaukee Bucks. They made two huge trades last night. Well, I don't know, half the country, third of the country, people went to bed early, were asleep. Woj reports the Bucks have reached an agreement to acquire both Jrue Holiday and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Milwaukee is going to send Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, and 3 first-round picks to the Pelicans for Holiday. The deal also includes a couple of pick swaps. In addition, the Bucks reaching an agreement in principle with Sacramento on a sign-in trade that will bring Bogdanovic and Justin James to the Bucks, with the Kings receiving Dante DiVincenzo, DJ Wilson, and Ersan Ilyasova. So, Perk, a lot of their depth now as a team has been traded away, and they traded away some of their future. Do you think the Bucks gave up too much in these trades, or it's what they had to do?
No, they doing exactly what they have to do. Listen, Rachel, the Bucks are winning, and they are winning big right now. Getting Jrue Holiday was a must for them, and it should have been a breath of fresh air for Giannis. Jrue Holiday is one of the most underrated players in today's game, one of the best two-way players in today's game. A guy that can give you 20 to 25 one end and lock up your best guard or wing person on the other end. And by the way, he's a closer. Now Chris Middleton could go to that third option, which he is, and let Jrue Holiday be that second guy, that Robin. And then you get Bogdanovic from Sacramento. Listen, this kid is a bucket. So right now I'm looking at this Milwaukee Bucks team, and they are winning. And they have the best starting 5 in the NBA right now, period.
Oh, really, Kendrick Perkins?
It's solid. But when you got an MVP caliber, but a 2-time MVP player on your team, you can never do too much to try to appease him. And adding Jrue and Bogdanovic is exactly what the doctor ordered in order to try to maintain keeping Giannis for years to come. He said, we asked him, is he going to sign an extension? And he said, hold up, let me see what management is going to do. And I think they proved their point that they want to get better. They're going to continue to try to get better as long as they have an MVP player in his prime. And this is what it takes when you do make moves like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the Jrue Holiday move. Not only is he all those things you guys both mentioned, he's such a high character guy. He's so good in locker rooms. All of his teammates have loved him, whoever has played with him. That matters when you're trying to win a title. And Bogdanovic, man, no fear, right? That guy will shoot at any time. A championship kind of environment, NBA finals, conference finals are not going to be too much for him. I'm fine with them giving up a lot because of the way it could possibly activate Giannis Antetokounmpo and that supermax for them. But Paul, do you think that by giving up this much of their future, they already have the wink and nod from Giannis that he is going to sign as long as they made these moves? Do you think they have some understanding with him, or that it's just on spec and they will come back to him now and say, okay, we did it. What do you think?
Well, when you have a player that holds the weight of your franchise, there's a lot of conversations that's been made. Of course, even in doing this deal, they talked to Giannis and asked him what he thought. And so when they make this deal, maybe they do have something under the table, like say, hey, Giannis, this is what we can do to get better. We have this extension on the table. You're going to see we're going to continue each and every year. If it doesn't work out this year, we're going to do something else to get better. And so I kind of figured that they probably have something under the table to say, hey, he's saying that, like, look, I'm going to sign here long term because you guys have really showed me I mean, this was a great move for them. I mean, not only did they get two consistent players that they've been lacking, the guys that make plays at the end of the games. That's the thing I worried about most for the Milwaukee Bucks. End of the game, who was going to close? You know, a lot of people say Giannis was that Pippen. You know, he doesn't have the consistent jumper to be that threat end of the games, but now you got two guys with Drew and Bogdanovich that can help in that department.
So, Perk, you said you think this is the best starting five in the league.
I don't know about best starting five, but they're
Perk.
up there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you look at it, you got Drew Holiday starting at the point. You got Giannis starting at the 4. You gonna probably put Bogdanovich at the 2, Chris Middleton at the 3, and you still have Brook Lopez to anchor your defense and to stretch the floor. A guy that opens up the lane.
The best starting five right now in the NBA is LeBron and AD and any other 3. That's the best starting 5 right now. So don't discredit the champs and the players. They can put me, you, and Rachel on the Lakers, and that'll be the best starting 5 in the league. Come on now. You giving them too much credit. Let's see them on the court.
Did you just... I can't believe that Paul Pierce is actually praising LeBron James and giving him props today.
They the champs. They the champs. Come on, they the champs.
Okay, that's cool. But that's cool. That's cool, though, Pete. But what I'm saying is right now in the free agency, the Milwaukee Bucks have built the team. And if you put this starting 5 compared to any starting 5 in the NBA right now, they have the better starting 5. You cannot name me a better starting 5 than this Milwaukee Bucks. You gave me 2 players.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
That's all you need. You can fill in the rest. It don't matter who they are. That's the best starting 5. Come on.
Well, let me narrow it down to the Eastern Conference, guys, because, of course, this is where this team is going to compete in. You look at what's going on in Boston. You look at what's going on with the Nets. Whether they get James Harden or not, they've got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. How good do you think the Bucks are now? Are they just an Eastern Conference Finals team? When you look at the other teams around, do you think they're an NBA Finals team or a championship team? Where are you on that?
Well, for me, they're a 60-win team, and that's what they've been the last couple years. But they still got more to prove. Giannis has to be that guy. He's been an MVP, yes, but he has to prove to me that he can close these games out. You know, he got some help now, and you know something about the Bucks when they get into the playoffs. They're great regular season, but then something about them, they get their heart taken in the playoffs, and you know it's hard for me to give them that right now.
Yeah, but Pete, that's why they went out and got Drew Holiday. Just like they have playoff Rondo, Drew Holiday elevates his game just like Rondo in the playoffs, and his number shows that. That's why they went and got Drew Holiday, because he is a closer. Bogdanovich, well, I watched him for the Sacramento Kings, where it was multiple times he took over games. So they have those pieces, and we watched Chris Middleton take over against that in the Miami series. Although they lost, he had some big performances when Giannis went out. So I'm looking at it. They added the pieces that they need. Well, they don't have to depend on Giannis late in the fourth quarter, Paul, for him to close out the game, because they got 2 guys.
You talk about playoff experience. Listen, Drew Holiday's only been to the playoffs twice, and I believe in the last 5-6 years. Bogdanovich has never been in the playoffs. Neither one of these guys have made a deep run in the playoffs. So don't compare these guys when you talk about playoff Rondo to a guy who with championship pedigree, to guys who don't have a lot of playoff experience. They're good, but when playoff basketball come, I don't know yet. That's why I can't give it to them.
But Pete, that don't mean nothing. We just watched Jamal Murray teared up, and this was his only second time being in the playoffs. So that don't mean nothing. Some guys are just built for the moment.
All right, we'll see then.
Well, let's talk about the other component of a team that might be a huge. We got time, guys. The season's coming up quick, but not that quick. We can talk about this every day, because we're going to talk about what else is going on in the East. Woj also reports that not only has James Harden turned